It's just not clicking. You're absolutely right, you don't have enough time. But the key here is to not be consistently bad at everything. You have to know that life comes in ebbs and flows. People getting up on this internet and lying to your face. I'm not gonna do it, I'm just not. Life was not always like this. Be realistic with yourself. I'm supposed to have a little date sound with my husband. I don't know, child. Sometimes you just need a little nap. We're asking for a bigger house, a bigger promotion, you know, to relocate to a different city. But are we truly prepared for that? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Some of the best ideas and just moments of clarity and peace that I've had lately were not on the internet. Good morning, beautiful. Welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Shay Nicole and I love creating videos to help elevate your confidence in style and self-care. And I'll also be dropping gems for current and aspiring content creators. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get into the day. So Robin is on her way over. That's my makeup artist in case you're new here. Today for me is going to be a long one. It's a content day. It's a batch creation day. Y'all know I always tell my content creators, if you're gonna be consistent, you might as well batch create. And that's a day that you get up early as possible, and make sure that you do all of your content for maybe the next week, the next 2 weeks, or you just shooting and you're not really sure which day you're gonna post, but you know you have this like library of content to pull from. Batch creating is the way to go. And for me, I try to do that as much as I can. And last night while I was up, you know, thinking about everything that was gonna happen today, I thought about the number one question I always get, especially from moms. Like, well, whether you're a mom or not, doesn't matter, but I feel like moms always wanna know, like, girl, how do you do it all? Like, how are you balancing your entire life? Because they see me being a wife and they see me being a mom. They see me still having time to be a friend, a family member. I'm showing up as an entrepreneur, a content creator. Like, they're seeing me wear all these hats and it's just not clicking. Because 9 times out of 10, people feel like they don't have enough time. And I'm here to tell you, you're absolutely right, you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time in the day. I think that the life of an entrepreneur or an influencer, you know, is very much glamorized and people don't like to tell the truth, or people have delusionally convinced themselves that they have enough time, they have enough hours, when in reality, you really don't. I'm here to tell you, you don't. And I know that sounds like bad advice, but I'm gonna explain. In my experience, I realized that nothing is going to get 100%. Like, something is going to lack, but it cannot lack every single day. Like, sometimes my diet is gonna lack because I'm just too busy, too overwhelmed, too tired, too lazy to, well, let's be honest, I don't really cook like that. My husband is the cook of the house, but I do throw together a little breakfast from time to time. But sometimes I just don't have the energy in me to eat healthy, right? So that's gonna lack some days. Other days, it might be water. It might be water, y'all. Sometimes I get up in the morning, my water is my first thing that I grab. You saw me, I went straight to pour water with my little helper, Gigi. Got my water. I'm determined I'm gonna drink a gallon of water today. But tomorrow I might drink a half a gallon or a quarter gallon, I don't know. Again, I'm gonna push myself, but sometimes I'm not 100% on my water intake. Other days, I'm not a good friend. I'll text back really fast, sometimes consistently, and then other days, honey, I might text you back 5 to 7 business days later. Other days, I'm not the best wife, I'm not the best mom, but the key here is to not be consistently bad at everything. You have to know that life comes in ebbs and flows, and that applies to no matter what job you have. I don't care if you are a content creator, influencer, you work in the beauty industry, real estate agent, you're a teacher, corporate girly, it doesn't matter. There's nothing in your life that is always going to get 100% all the time. It's just not realistic. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what you do. It's not realistic. And I am so tired of people getting up on this internet and lying to your face. I'm not gonna do it, I'm just not. I'm gonna be very honest with you, it's impossible. But that is why living a balanced life is possible. And even when you try to balance it as best you can, it's still not gonna be even. The scales are always gonna tip, but that's okay. Your goal is to do the best you can in certain areas, depending on what you have going on. So this week, I'm going super hard. I got my water. I've been getting up early. I didn't today because I have a shoot day, but I should have. But yesterday I did. Jeremiah and I, we got up super early, make sure we go on our daily walks. We're trying to like find ways, because he's an entrepreneur too, right? So since we both work full-time for ourselves, we're both trying to find ways where we can kill two birds with one stone. So him and I know that we definitely have to spend more quality, uninterrupted time with each other, right? We also need to get our blood moving and flowing first thing in the morning, because that's really important. So what do? Boom, get back to our walk and talks. Our walk and talks were quality time we spent together, where we would literally get up and walk and talk. This could be just like circling the neighborhood. There's local trails in our community, by our house. Go on local trails. Sometimes we would even drive to like a nicer trail on the other side of town. There's like these Japanese like blossom gardens in Houston we used to drive to. Well, this is before we had Gigi. Sometimes, you know, we don't have time to do all that now, but the bottom line is we're looking for ways to like merge things we need to do. Take our water with us, because we need to be drinking our water. Make sure that we have uninterrupted time. We're putting our phone away and we're walking together, which is a form of exercise. That's just an example of a couple of things that we need to do, and we're merging them all together. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions of social media is that your life is going to just reach this point where you're just happy all the time, you have all this money, you just get to travel the world and just be carefree. And I don't know, y'all. I know a lot of people with some money. Like, I've met some wealthy people, and from what I've seen, more money, more problems. Like, your problems are never gonna go away. You know, they'd be like, you wanna cry in a Honda or cry in a Bentley? Well, I'm gonna choose the Bentley. I know that's also future referencing, I think that was the lyric, but that's future referencing like a toxic relationship. My husband and I, we always joke and we apply that to everything. When it comes to working hard, life is gonna be hard no matter what, okay? So I'd rather work hard for myself, or I'm telling you, even if you're not working for yourself, you're not an entrepreneur, work hard at a job that you actually like, or hopefully you love it, and climb the ranks and get as much money as you can, so that you can buy resources and outsource your time. And then that will lead to more peace of mind and hopefully happiness, because I don't believe that money can buy happiness. I believe that if you are happy broke, honey, you're gonna be happy with a coin. But if you are miserable and sad broke, the money is gonna sustain you, but not for that long. Hear me out. My motto when it comes to like happiness and grinding and like this journey that we're all on, you need to find some contentment and peace in your day-to-day grind. Because if you don't have that now, having like more followers or more access and resource and money, it's not gonna get any better. It's gonna be a temporary fix. It's kind of like trying to put a Band-Aid on a cut when you really need some stitches. Like, you have to do a lot of inner work. And every time I'm scrolling online, I don't know, I see people that are posting, and I don't want to say that they're posting lies, because like your truth is your truth, but it's one thing to like be delusionally happy and think that everything's gonna work out all the time. And then there's one thing to like be honest with yourself and know that, okay, we're gonna have trials, we're gonna have tribulations, but like, how do I make the most of it? And how do I be realistic with myself to get through these moments? And I'm trying to tell you right now, especially for my content creators out there, if you are not content with your journey currently, honey, if you are not content with like your day-to-day habits and figuring things out right now, more followers and more money is not gonna help. I'm trying to tell you, I'm here as your big sister or your little sister, depending on how old you are. But I'm here as your friend, your true friend, to let you know you need to start getting realistic about what you want. And let's start by breaking our bad habits and like changing the way we view life, changing the way we view this balance that we all need to have. Like, we need to get realistic, okay? Yes, we need a sprinkle of delusion, but we also have to have a plan and have strategy. So I wanted to talk to y'all about that because it was just like on my heart, on my spirit. And I just don't want to paint this picture and this facade that everything is always okay, because it's not, okay? Money does not solve all problems, but it does buy you more access and resources so that you can outsource your time. For example, I got up out the bed and you didn't see a clip of me getting Gigi ready for school, right? No, you didn't. By the time I came out my room, she was already fully dressed. She had soccer today after school. She's good to go. That is because we have a nanny. we are able to afford a nanny because we outsourced it based on our budget, okay? And life was not always like this. When Gigi was first born, a newborn, honey, we was in the trenches, okay? We had to work our way up to having the money and the resources to have the lifestyle we have now. So we strategized, we decided to sacrifice and give up certain things, and we thought about, okay, what can we cut back on so that we can afford this help? Because when Gigi was first born, it was just Jeremiah and I. We didn't have anybody here. Like, we did not have a village, and our closest village, which we consider family, is Gigi's godparents. They live down the street, but they had a newborn as well. So 2 people with a newborn, it ain't gonna be that much support that we can give. Like, they did the best they could to help us and vice versa with them, but we were in the trenches, and we decided, all right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna cut back on? Are we gonna, rearrange our budget so that we can have some support? Eventually my parents moved down here, yes. Eventually Jeremiah's brother and our sister-in-law moved down here, yes. Like, eventually we created our village, people moved down, but in the beginning it was just us. So I'm just here to encourage you, when it's something that you see that you really want out of life, whether it is something you want to outsource, some type of support, or maybe you want to invest in something, or maybe you want like a house or a different car, or like whatever it is, I'm telling you right now, your day-to-day habits, okay, the small things, the changes that you make, it is going to change your life. Like, I can assure you, because I think about the days when we couldn't afford the things that we have now, and we probably could have afforded it a lot sooner, okay, if we had more strategy and intention. And that is so big, y'all, especially in this economy with this president. We don't know what the world's about to be looking like. So I want y'all to enjoy it the best you can, but you need strategy, you need a plan. You also need to give yourself some grace and be realistic with yourself. And you also have to remember that every day is not going to look perfect. Every bucket of your life, every hat that you wear, you're not gonna be able to give it 100%. But what can you do? What are the small sacrifices from day to day that you can make to create this dream life of yours, okay? And even in that dream life, honey, you still gonna be tired. Like, do y'all think I don't be tired? In this beautiful home that I have with this beautiful husband, this beautiful daughter, and this support in this village, I'm happy, but baby, I'm still tired. And that's okay. Like, being tired is a part of life. Like, you're gonna be tired some days. Some days I have the most energy ever. Other days, I ain't got it, but that's okay. Both days, guess what? I am content and I am at peace. And that's what I wanna encourage you all to find your inner peace, while also finding what days you're gonna be balanced in what areas, and what days it's just gonna be lacking, but you're just gonna keep on turning the wheel. Keep on turning the wheel, and I promise you, with strategy, intention, a sprinkle of delusion. You still need a little delusion, okay? Not like disrespectful delusion where you're like ignoring red flags about yourself, but a sprinkle of like healthy delusion. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I feel like I'm rambling and I gotta like hop in the shower and get ready because Robin's almost here. She just texted me and said she'll be here in 20 minutes. So before I like wrap up this little chit chat, I want you to do an exercise. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, okay? And I want you to like draw a line down the center. And on one side, I want you to think of a couple of bad habits or like not so great things that you do all the time. I want you to put like 3 things on the left, all right? And on the right side, I want you to put 3 goals. This could be like financial goals, health goals, life goals, goals for your business, your brand, whatever. And I want you to see, are there any correlations? Okay, so for example, on the left side for me, a year ago, I would say, oh, I'm addicted to coffee. And that would be on my left side of like negative traits about myself I don't like. And not just addicted to coffee, honey, I'm addicted to the sugar that I put in the coffee to make it taste good, because I don't even like the taste of coffee, but I like the taste of it when it has a bunch of sugar and cream in it. And then on the right side for me, there would be, I want to, lose weight. I want to not just lose weight for the aesthetic, but I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. So that would be one goal on this side, one, negative trait or negative bad habit on the other side. And I could draw a line and correlate these 2 things directly, okay? And then another thing, I need to learn how to save more money. That's on my left side. Like, honey, I can spend, okay? One thing I can do, I know how to spend, I know how to make a coin. But baby, when it comes to keeping the money, I don't know, sometimes it just burns a hole in my pocket. This is me talking about myself a year ago, right? So I would put that on the left side. On the right side, I would say, okay, I want for Jeremiah and I to get this investment property that we've been talking about for so long. We want to get investing into real estate. And then, well, what do you know? Another correlation. Like, you get my drift here. You need to write down the things that you don't do the best at on the left side. And then right on the right side, all of your goals. I said start out with 3, but if you have time, you can do 10, 20, doesn't matter. And I want you to start drawing these lines like a little map and look at the correlations and figure out what are small habits that you can change right now for a greater reward in the next year. Okay, I am telling you, it matters. And let's not even talk about the whole year. Let's talk about just 30 days. In 30 days, what can you do? How can you transform yourself? Because honey, summer is coming. And if you have like an aesthetic goal, if you have a body goal, you can do a lot in 30 days. And let's say it's not 30 days, it could be a quarter. Let's say you wanna transform something about your life in 3 months, 90 days. What can you get done? I am telling you right now, there are things that you can shift, small habits from day to day that will change your life forever. If you stay consistent, if you keep it up. And you have to start asking yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you want childcare so that you and your man can go out on more date nights? Okay, how much is that gonna cost? Have you got on care.com to see how much does it cost to have a sitter? Do you map out what you want in a new sitter? Do you want to have your parents help you with the kids? Do you wanna retire your mom? Like, how much is that gonna cost? Like, y'all have to start looking at your goal and your end result and then working backwards, because that is something I'm so serious about. I look at what are the things that I want, and then I create a plan and I work backwards from that. Like, how would I get there? I have to map it out from the end result, from the reward. What are my small day-to-day habits that transform into a greater lifestyle to get there? So this is something that I'm giving you for homework, girl, okay? I'm so serious about it. I wanna check back in with you because there's no reason why you can't have the life that you dream of, the lifestyle that you want so bad, but it also comes with a great deal of responsibility. Don't ever think that it's always gonna be just flowers and roses. No, you're still gonna struggle a little bit, girl. You are, but that's okay. Because again, would you rather struggle in your Honda or your Bentley? And you know, that's not really a good comparison for me because I'm not like a Bentley girl, so I'm more of a Mercedes-Benz kind of girl. So I'm gonna say your Honda or your Benz. And no shade, because there's nothing wrong with a Honda. Let's be very clear. A Honda is a good car, a reliable car, but that might not be your version of luxury. So that's why I said that. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a figure of speech. I don't want to offend nobody with a Honda because a Honda is a good, reliable, durable car and it's going to carry you through, okay? All right, y'all. So let me wrap up this chit chat. It's going to be a day. We have lots of things to do. I got, let me see, 1, 2, 3. No, I had 3 campaigns to shoot, but now I have 2 because I did the most of the work for that first one last night. I just have to do some finishing touches, and then the other 2 I'm just gonna send to my editor. So, and that's another example. Look at that. Do you want an editor? What is that gonna take? How much does that cost? You see? Now I just told you something that I do to outsource my time and free up more of my time so I can have more peace of mind. I outsource an editor. I budget for an editor. You see how that works? Anyway, let me go ahead and hop in the shower. Robin's on her way, and yeah, let's start our day.
You're the one for me. You're the one. You can call on me. It's all I want us to be. Oh yeah. You're the one for me. I know that you're somebody else's guy, but these feelings that I have for you I can't deny. She doesn't treat you the way you want it to. So come on, stop running. I wanna get with you. What your girl don't know won't hurt her. Anything to make this love go further. You're the one.
So I was about to shoot a campaign, well, 2 campaigns for the same brand. Child, I opened that box and it's the wrong product. Okay, so I'm telling my agency now so we can sort that out. I might have to go get it in person, but that's fine. Because one thing I know how to do is pivot. I'm not gonna let the day go to waste. This is actually gonna speed up my timeline. So I don't know if I said this earlier, but I have 2 other things going on today besides just shooting campaigns and batch creating some organic content. And when I say organic content, that means, if you don't already know, content that is not paid. There's no ad attached to it. It's just like your regular, everyday content. That could be, you know, in your different tiers, whether you are lifestyle, beauty, clothing, travel, like whatever your thing is, whether you have a niche or not, that is your organic content. And then of course your campaigns, ads, that's all of your paid content. So it is just as important to do consistent organic content. Really, I feel like it's way more important to focus on consistently producing organic content so that you can get the paid ads. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what I be talking about when I say I'm gonna batch create. Yes, sometimes I throw a couple ads in there when I'm, you know, doing my schedule, because obviously I have deadlines, but for the majority of my batch creating, it is organic content. Anyway, child, the two other things I gotta do today is I have to go pick up my other wig. If you remember in a past vlog, I went to Feminine Attraction. Shout out to my girl Blessing. She made me the cutest wig. It was like black with these blonde, like ash blonde highlights. And then she also made me a jet black one. But our schedules have just been so crazy. I was traveling, I had a lot going on, and she was busy, so we kept missing each other. So we're like 3 or 4 weeks later from that appointment, and now I'm going to get my jet black one, and then she's gonna make me, I think she said she's gonna make me like a honey blonde one, or maybe brown with honey blonde highlights. I don't know, but either way, I gotta go back and get that wig. So I had planned to, after Robin left, I was going to shoot the campaigns, then do a little bit of organic content, then go pick up my wig. But I just text her and asked if I can come a little earlier since I have this block of free time. And then after that, I am going live later on with my girl Cassandra Moore. Shout out to her. We are going to be on live talking all things like content creation and your journeys, entrepreneurship, all the things. So that is today at 6 p.m. And then I'm supposed to have a little date time with my husband. I don't know, child. I gotta figure out some things because I don't know how long this live is gonna last. And we do like to do a little weekday night. Like, we're not the weekend crew. I mean, sometimes, yes, we'll go out on the weekend, but we prefer like a Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, random outing during the week. It's less crowded. It's just more intimate for us. But since I have to go live and I'm a talker, I'm a yapper, as the kids say, I don't know if I'll be done with that in time. And child, we don't hit the date night before 7 p.m., 8 p.m., then it's probably not gonna happen because we low-key be grandma and grandpa. Low-key auntie and uncle vibes, low-key. Okay, so that's fine. I'm going to catch up on some emails, chat with my team a little bit, and then I'll just maybe even squeeze in a 30-minute nap. That's one thing that adults need to understand. We need to revert back to the kindergarten days, to the pre-K days. Sometimes you just need a little nap, okay? Sometimes a quick power nap can get you through. Especially if you're like me, you gotta get up early. Honey, a quick 30, 45 minutes in the middle of the day. Now, granted, I know sometimes that's not gonna work out for some people. I have friends where they're like, listen, if I close my eyes and get in this bed, honey, it ain't no nap, it's nighttime. I'm closing the blinds, closing the curtains, that's it for me. I'm not gonna wake up for hours. I respect that, but for me, it's like charging my phone. Okay, you know when your phone gets to like 60, 50% and you're like, ooh, let me just get a little quick charge before I head out the door. You really only need to get to like 80, maybe 82% before you're good. That's what I look at a nap as, okay? I look at a nap as, let me close my eyes, a quick 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes, not too much, okay? When you start getting to an hour, that can creep into 2 hours and now you done lost the whole day. But a good 30-minute nap, I'm telling you, that does it for me. It's like putting myself on the charger, okay? So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna head out to go get my other wig because we are still giving the bob a break. Anyway, let me get my life together. Okay, testing, is this thing on? I'm hoping it is, y'all, because I've recorded on my DJI camera, you know, little small pocket one. I've recorded on it so many times where I forgot my microphone, and whenever I talk on it, I just feel like you can hear more of what's going on around you. So hopefully this audio is a little bit better than what it is when I don't have the microphone. But anyways, so girl, we need to talk. Like, I am very, very serious and adamant about being intentional when it comes to elevating my life, and I want you to do the same. But what I don't want, like I said earlier, is for you to have this false sense of what it means to elevate, what it'll feel like, what it'll be like. Because on one hand, you don't really know. There are things that you could be praying for, asking God for, and then when you get them, you're like, oh child, this wasn't it, or the timing wasn't right. I feel like sometimes God, yes, everything happens on his perfect time, but also I feel like some things happen on a timeline that doesn't feel comfortable because it's to teach us something. And it's to teach us, okay, maybe this isn't what we wanted this fast. You know, like this happened a little too abruptly where I thought I was prepared and I wasn't. either way, it's still on God's perfect timing, because, you know, he needs us to learn these lessons so we can be well equipped and better prepared for the rest of our journey. But I really want us to hone in and not get so caught up on the end result, like the goal that we have, that ultimate top goal, whatever it is, to the point where we're not looking left, looking right, and recognizing all the things that are happening along our journey to prepare us for that point. Like, I swear, y'all, there are so many lessons that sometimes we just be missing. And these are things that have happened to us that really not are happening to us, but they're happening for us to help us. So when we get to that next destination, we know how to handle it. We know how to deal. And it's kind of the equivalent to while you are, you know, in a job that you hate right now. I don't know. I'm just giving a hypothetical scenario, right? Because I've been there. Working a job that you just really don't like, whether it's you don't like your team, you don't like your boss, your manager, whoever, supervisor, or you don't like the building, you don't like the location, the drive, the commute, child. It could be 1,000 things. You don't like the customers. I don't know. It could be a million things you just don't like. And while you're in it, you know, yes, of course, you're applying to other jobs, you're on LinkedIn, you're networking, you're on Indeed.com, you're freshening up your resume, you're doing all the right things, right? But what you're not doing is paying attention to your surroundings and what's going on. You're not paying attention to all the troubleshooting you should be doing and learning, so that when you get to that next position, whether you're doing a whole complete career switch or whether you're just gonna do like a lateral move where maybe you wanna make a little bit more money, but you wanna do the same job, whatever the case may be, you need to make sure that while you're in the grind, while you're in the hustle, while you're in the place of despair where you're just like so unhappy, you are taking notes and you are looking at what are the things you're doing from your day to develop conflict resolution skills for yourself. So that way, when you get to that next plateau and God elevates you to that next level, you're not looking around like, oh, well, now we got more problems. You know when they say more money, more problems? It's true. Like, as you elevate, and of course, more money, no more problems doesn't always mean literally like cash. Obviously, yes, it does in certain aspects, but it doesn't always mean that the more money you're going to make in life, you're going to have more issues. Yes, that is true. But a part of it is about, as you elevate and grow, you're going to face more circumstances that you're not really familiar with. You're going to be in more positions where you don't know how to handle things because you're out of your comfort zone. You're not in the same place that you were a year ago or 5 years ago or a whole decade ago. So the term more money, more problems is really speaking about elevation. Like, the more things we want in life, as the more we get and we're granted and we're gifted, it's also more responsibility. You know, I'm sure you've heard of the saying, heavy is the head that wears the crown. That is so true. And as we want to elevate in our life, we have to think, okay, we're asking for a bigger house, a bigger promotion, you know, to relocate to a different city. But are we truly prepared for that? What are we doing right now in this moment to get prepared? Like, are we being the good stewards of the money that we have now? Are we being good stewards of the apartment that we have now? Are we taking care of the car we have now? Like, we have to really look around and evaluate every single piece of our day-to-day before we even get to that next destination. So I want you to do some reflecting, like really take this serious. I know it's not the new year, but this could be like your fresh start. You know, we're only in Q2. It's still the top of the year. We have time to make adjustments in our mentality so that we can really brace ourselves for the impact, because that's what's going to happen. I swear, y'all, it's going to feel like one day you just wake up and boom, like, oh, new job, a new promotion at your current job, a new relationship, a new friend, new opportunities, new brand deals, new clients. Like, I promise it feels like an overnight experience, even though it's most definitely not happening overnight. That's what it will feel like. One day you're just gonna wake up and you're like, wow, how do we get here so fast? That is the abrupt impact that I'm talking about, that I want you to prepare for right now. There are things in your life that you have to prepare for, or else God cannot bless you, okay? Now, I want to switch gears a little bit and acknowledge the fact that you may or may not even know how you want your life to elevate. Like, I think we're at a weird time right now, especially as an elder millennial, if you're like me, or maybe you're Gen Z, or maybe you're the generation above millennial, wherever you are on your journey. I feel like sometimes we get really caught up in what we're seeing other people doing and other people achieving, and it can misconstrue our own true goals. Like, I'm very guilty of this. I'm the first one to tell you. There are times where I will be so engulfed in what other people got going on, to the point where I'm thinking like, oh my God, I need this, I need that. And I have to like check myself and be like, you know what? Do I really want to do that? Do I really want to go there? Do I really want to travel there? Do I really want that insert, item here? I'm not gonna lie, y'all, we are all guilty of being influenced, and sometimes it can be positive. Let me say that, because Lord knows social media has impacted me in such a positive way. Like, I've learned and gained so much from so many creators, like, I can't even name. There's a very long list. But at the same time, I'm also guilty of just overconsumption of content to the point where I think I need things or I want things that I really don't. And I want to encourage you to, another piece of homework. Y'all know I'm a former educator now. I'm always gonna give a little homework. You remember that list I was telling you to make early, where you draw down the line, like the center, put your goals on one side, put things you need to work on the other side, your bad habits and stuff? Okay. Go to the next page, and I want you to make a list of the things that you believe right now in this very moment that you actually want, like the goals that you have for yourself, the things that you've been asking God for or meditating on, manifesting, all of that. And then I want you to take a good week, okay? This is gonna be like a long extended project. I want you to try to go for a week without social media. Hear me out, because I know that sounds crazy. Well, especially if you're like me and you work on social media. I'm not saying you can't use social media, but I want you to push yourself. If you're someone, for example, like me, who's a content creator who literally has to post, like it's my job, or you're an aspiring content creator, you can't take breaks. I want you to have something, this tip that I call post and go. Post and go, okay? Meaning that you only show up on social media to post. Post what you gotta post. Maybe engage in your comments for a little bit, or set an alarm to come back to the post, engage for a little bit, and then go. I don't want you to scroll for the next 7 days. And if you are not a content creator, and you're someone who just uses social media for your leisure, I want you to really push yourself to limit or eliminate your social media scrolling for 7 days. And during those 7 days, I want you to go outside. I want you to try doing something you haven't done in a while. Like, when's the last time you went to a library? Isn't that crazy? Like, most of us don't even go to libraries. We have Kindles, we have, our iPad. It's at the palm of our hand. We can just, boom, get a book, right? Audio book. Most of the things are digital now. But when's the last time you did something in person? When is the last time you went and took a walk at a local park? When is the last time that you got on the phone and called your grandma? Or if they're not alive, Lord rest their soul, when's the last time you called your favorite auntie? You talk to, a cousin that you just love and haven't seen. Like, I want you to spend the next 7 days. And it doesn't have to be like the next 7 days right now. It would be great. But if you need to, like, let's say you have a vacation or a trip coming up, it's your birthday, I don't know, girl. Let's fast forward to like a week that you can really do this, because this is like a social experiment for yourself. I want you to go 7 days with either only posting and going, no scrolling, okay? And if you are not a content creator and you're not required to really post much, try to go 7 days without social media. And I want you to spend those 7 days getting in tune with your inner self, okay? And your village and your tribe. And if you ain't got no village, no tribe, that's okay. I want you to get your butt outside, okay? Go touch some grass, as the kids say. I want you to really get in tune with the world, nature. Look at the clouds, the sky. Like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Some of the best ideas and just moments of clarity and peace that I've had lately were not on the internet. They weren't. And I know that can sound crazy coming from someone like me who works on the internet. You're watching me right now on the internet. But I believe that two things can be true. Yes, we need the internet to build our brands and, grow our businesses and to use it as a resource and, all of these things, right? But it can also be such a hindrance to us, to the point where our goals and the things we want for our lifestyle is conflated. And after that week of you getting back in touch with your friends, hell, maybe some childhood friends you haven't talked to in a while, try to get some people on the phone, try to do some FaceTime with your girlfriends or your family or people out of state that you haven't seen, people you've even lost touch with. Like, I want you to try to get back in tune with yourself. Put your feet in some grass. If you live by a beach and it's warm outside, go walk along the beach. I mean, even if you don't live by a beach, if you can get to a beach, honey, if you got a good hour to spare, if you don't live too far, hop on the road, go for a drive. Like, I want you to do as many things as you can outside of the internet, okay? Pick up a book and read. And then I want you to come back to that list after a week, maybe even 2 weeks if you can go that long, okay? Because sometimes it takes a little longer. And I also want you to, so before we go back to the list, another thing, while you are on this social media sabbatical, I want you to when you're talking to your tribe, your family, your friends, I want you to ask them, like, where do you see me in the next 10 years? Like, what do you think, like, my biggest strength will be? Like, what do you think, I'm going to be successful at? You're going to be so surprised, because either A, you're going to hear people say things that really align with your goals, and the things that you have imposter syndrome about, people already see it in you. Like, somebody might be like, oh, well, girl, I see you as, taking over at your job, or quitting and becoming a full-time entrepreneur, or I see you as, running this department, or what have you. Like, either what the people are saying is going to align with what you want to do and what you're scared to do, and God will use that as confirmation to push you, or the complete opposite. Your friends, coworkers, close family, like whoever you're doing this social experiment with and you're talking to, they may say things that you used to want to do, or things that you forgot about, or things that you didn't even think about. One or two things is going to happen, honey. And I want you to pay attention to these conversations. I really do. I want you to pay attention during this social experiment. I want you to listen to how people talk about you. Listen to how people describe you. Ask people, like, what do you think my biggest strength is? What do you think, something I'm really good at? What would you call me for? I think we need to really get in tune with ourselves. And sometimes it just cannot happen on social media. Again, social media is an amazing tool. But in this social experiment I have for you, I want you to ask people that care about you, love you, whether it's your friends, your family, your colleagues, people that you trust their judgment, okay? Don't be calling nobody that just, use discernment when you're doing this, okay? Don't be calling just anybody. But I want you to call people that you believe have some sense, and just out of curiosity. It could be your mom, it could be your sibling. Ask these questions, and I promise you, you are going to either love the result, or the result of this is going to make you uncomfortable to the point where you really realize, okay, I got to get some things in order. I got to get my perspective and like shift some things up, shake some things up. Because a big part of elevating your lifestyle is knowing exactly what you want. And sometimes we are so caught up in looking at what everyone else is doing on the internet, we are out of touch with reality. And guess what? Your reality is your village, your tribe, your day-to-day life. Like, I love you, girl, but I may have never even met you, and I may not ever meet you. I hope that I get to, though, okay? If you see me outside, say hi, speak. Always come up to me, honey. I'm very approachable. I always hug my good girls in person, okay? But the reality is, you may never meet me in person. So I may not be a part of your immediate village, and that's okay. I'm here to give inspiration. I'm here to be your virtual big sis, mentor, counselor, whatever. But the reality is, in order to elevate your life, you need to be in tune with what's going on in your world, not mine, not anybody else's. We as influencers and content creators, digital creators, whatever you want to call us, we are here for a source of inspiration, manifestation, and just a reminder of what God has promised for all of us, which is just, the elevation, the peace, the happiness, the contentment. But at the same time, what is the point of you looking at everyone else's goals and what everyone else has going on if you're not really sure about yourself? You're not even sure what the best qualities of you are. How are you going to be on this journey to fix things and change habits if you're not even sure what your strengths from your weaknesses are, okay? It's not good enough for you to just have that in your own mind, like have your own perspective of you, but you need to know how others view you. And a big part of this journey of elevation comes from the fact that a lot of us struggle with imposter syndrome and fear of the unknown or fear of the known, like what we're stepping into, right? And I feel like if you can learn how other people view you and learn like what other people come to you because they trust you, like what are these things that people trust about you? What are these things that people know they can come to you for? Like what type of advice are they looking for? What type of wisdom can they get from you? If you know how other people value you, it will really help you to value yourself. I know that sounds crazy because we're raised to believe like, oh, you don't need to worry about nobody's opinions. Who cares what people think about you? And to a certain extent, yes, that's true. But at the same time, it is very valuable for you to know how people that you trust view you, okay? People that you literally feel like they have your best interest at heart. People that you would go to for advice and you would go to for their sound mind and strong opinion. You need to know these things. And I'm telling you right now, a big part of building your self-confidence and having trust in yourself is knowing how and why other people trust you. Because those are the foundational blocks to really build your brand or extend what you're doing at your job or be a better parent, be a better spouse, show up better on dates. You know, what do you have to offer? Again, a lot of us are so caught up in what's going on the internet to the point where we have lost ourselves. So that is a big piece of elevation when it comes to your lifestyle and your journey. That is one of the biggest pieces, is to really get to know yourself. And I'm telling you right now, it happens in the real world. It happens outside of the internet, outside of social media, off the camera. It happens in day-to-day real life conversations. That is the true impact, okay? Now, if you are a digital creator, influencer like myself, then there's two folds to that. I think that if you want to really expand your digital footprint and grow your brand on social media, then you need a little bit of both. You need to know how your true village is impacted by you, you know, your day-to-day people, your family, your friends, your loved ones, etc. But you also need to know how people view you on social media, for sure. There's no way you're gonna scale your brand and, you know, start working with more companies for doing brand deals and, you know, building up this social influences. You can't do that if you don't even know what you have to offer, honey. Like, what are your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to being a digital creator? If you're not really good at taking pictures, are you good at doing videos? If you're not good at doing videos, are you good at taking pictures? Are you good at both? Do you suck at both and want to outsource? Like, there's so many questions that you have to ask. And also, when it comes to, you know, making an impact, a true impact on your social media village, you know, your tribe, shout out to my good girl tribe, you have to ask your audience questions. Like, throw a question box on your story and see the type of questions you get. You can just say, hey, I'm gonna do a Q&A, ask me anything. And pay attention to what people are asking you. Are they asking you about beauty, lifestyle, fitness, food, fashion? Like, what are the things that people come to you for? That is going to be a telltale sign of what you need to make more content about. A lot of us are so caught up in what other people are making content about that we are missing the mark. We are literally missing the opportunity to pour into our audience because we think we have to hop on this trend. We think we have to hop on these hot topics of conversation, when in reality, we really don't. We can literally just stick to what we know. If you don't know anything about meal prepping and fitness, but that's a hot topic you keep seeing and you have a little bit of interest in it, but you're not passionate about it, then don't feel the need to talk about fitness and meal prepping. Like, don't. Maybe your calling is to pour into your audience about how you're able to balance your busy work schedule with going to Pilates and going to the gym or riding your bike and, you know, making your schedule work. Maybe that's what people need to learn from you. Maybe it's not about meal prepping. Or if you were in the beauty industry and, you know, people love your press-on nails, but, you know, you really want to talk about hair. You're not really interested in showing your press-on nails. Then, girl, talk about hair. Put a question box up on your story and see, are the people asking about your nails or are they asking about your hair? Like, you need to be in tune with what your audience wants. I don't care how many trending topics are going on. I don't care what are the trending sounds or all these things going on. Listen, take my advice because I've been there, done that, honey. You need to be in tune with what your audience is looking for. And the only way to know that is to simply ask. Just ask the questions. Don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to show up a little vulnerable and be like, hey, y'all, I'm struggling right now with some topics and I don't want to be talking to y'all about stuff that I don't care about and you don't care to hear from me about. So what is it that you want to know from me? What is it that you want to learn from me? Ask those type of questions and I promise you, you're going to get a whole catalog library of content, okay? A whole bunch. A bunch of ideas starting as soon as you put that question box up, okay? All right, that was a good little chit chat we had. I am now parking so I can head up on in here to see my girl Blessings. And make sure that you book her if you are looking for a good unit, honey, okay? Feminine Attractions, that's her brand. She ships worldwide, all right? Okay, thank the Lord we made it safely. Now let's get up in here so I can get my new wig.
Yes, turn L's into lemons and zest. Double D's and I book and invest. King tryna get all of my shit up in check. I can never be a friend of a foe, but I fold at the side of an you up text. Now I know what I gotta do next. Cause a nigga had me living obsessed. True, yeah, tell her like society. Electric. Now I got you blocked, it's Tetris. And I won't only get you where the check is. Like look how all the baggage is just deadlift. Then you ain't gotta tell me what attached is. I guess I really went up on my mind shit. I ain't ever gonna let you bring me round. Cause even when you let me down, I don't wanna watch you leave. See me when the sun goes down, yeah.
Okay, girl, I'm feeling good. I am back. Let me say something. Getting your hair done, getting your hair and makeup done, and having on a good outfit, I mean, top 2 self-care, if not 1, okay? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling myself. Thank you, Blessing. Shout out to Feminine Attraction. She gets the job done, honey. Her units are full, a lot of body, a lot of volume. I love that. I prefer it to be very thick and full because over time, your wig is going to, you know, thin out on its own, especially when it comes to the lace. I know a lot of people like their lace to be very, very plucked to mimic a natural hairline, and I do. But for a wig like this that I want to keep for a long time, I don't want her to do too much plucking in the front hairline. Like, I want it to be a little bit more full, a little bit thicker, a little bit unrealistic, if I might say so myself, and that's okay with me because I know over time it's going to shed, it's going to get thin, and it's just gonna last that much longer. So that's just, you know, my little tip for those of you who want your wig to, you know, be prolonged. Now, of course, you can always get your closure replaced. That's not a problem. You can have a very full wig with a custom, very tweezed hairline. And then, you know, over time, as it starts to get thin, you can always switch out the closures. That's definitely an option too. But for me, I just prefer it to be very full, very thick all over. And I may go in and do just a little bit of tweezing. But again, it's gonna thin out over time. So I'm feeling real good. I might have to get outside tonight. No, I probably won't. Actually, no, I won't because it is, let me see. Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock, child. And I got a good hour drive home. You know that Houston traffic is crazy. And then, what else is on the itinerary? Oh, I heard back from the brand. They told my agency about the mix-up. They said they're just gonna overnight the product. So I'll be able to shoot that campaign tomorrow, which is no big deal, you know. My makeup is not gonna go to waste. Again, I have some other organic content I need to shoot, and I'm going live, okay? By the time you see this, I will have already went live, so I can't really invite you, but hopefully you are tuned into my Instagram because I promoted it over there. And, oh, you know what? I probably need to promote it on my my YouTube community. My YouTube community post channel thing. You know, like on YouTube there's like a timeline of posts people be doing. It looks like Facebook to me. I need to start typing there a little bit more often. So maybe I'll post it over there. And let me know in the comments, do y'all be watching YouTube live? Because I've heard that's a thing. The girlies be on YouTube live talking to their audience, and that's one place I've never been live before. Like, I've definitely been live on Instagram, that's all the time. TikTok, I've been live. Oh, and I'm about to miss my turn. Excuse me. Thank you so much. Don't you just love that when somebody lets you? And don't forget to raise your hand and say thank you. You know, you gotta do a little thank you in the mirror. Hopefully they see it. But I just love that when a good Samaritan sees that you waited to the last minute on accident, or you miss your turn, or you about to miss your turn, and you just do a little, excuse me. You gotta put your hand up and wave. And for those of you who don't put your hand up and say thank you, I hate you. I hate you because it don't take nothing to say thank you for a kind gesture. Gosh. Anyways, let me know in the comments, like I said, do y'all be watching the girlies on YouTube live? Would you show up to my live if I scheduled one? What type of live would you want me to do? Like a traditional Q&A? Do you want it to be like questions that you were able to submit in advance? Or would you like to ask, you know, on the live? Let me know because I definitely need to incorporate going live over on YouTube as a thing in my schedule. And honestly, I need to start going back live on my Instagram and TikTok more often because, baby, we used to be on live a couple times a week on Instagram. And then on TikTok, it was like an occasional thing. I just still, to this day, y'all, I feel like I haven't really found my TikTok community. What can I say? I don't know. I feel very detached from TikTok. I guess because I started on Instagram, it's just my comfort zone. And also, we don't really know what's going to happen with TikTok. Child, it'd be here today, gone tomorrow. It's always something going on. There's an extension. Somebody's trying to buy it. It's just too much drama. I don't know. Like, I love scrolling TikTok, though. I'm a consumer of TikTok content. I do a lot of research on TikTok, okay? Whenever you hear me say I did some research, child, it was probably me scrolling on TikTok. But, yeah, I want to go live over there. Maybe not a couple times a week over on there. Maybe like once every week or bi-weekly. But for Instagram, for sure, I need to be going live more consistently because that's my biggest platform. And then on YouTube, I am gonna try. So, and let me know what you think about that. Which one would you join? Would you join the YouTube live, Instagram live, TikTok live, all of the above? Does it depend on your schedule? Talk to me. All right, so the GPS is saying I'm not gonna get home until, we'll have to make a stop at UPS. So I'm not gonna get home until 4:45. I feel like I need to grab a little snacky snack. I don't know if I can wait that long, I'm hungry. But Jeremiah and I have this pact where we said we weren't gonna eat out Monday through Thursday, and we were gonna preserve our eating out budgets for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And that doesn't mean we have to eat out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's just like, if we're gonna eat out, it needs to be the weekend. We've been going 2 weeks strong. I know that's not a lot of time, but for me, honey, it is. For him, honey, he don't have to eat out the rest of his life. Like, he's definitely a homebody. He doesn't mind eating at home. He loves to cook. But for me, honey, I like a good meal to be served outside the house. I want to be waited on. I want to go pick it up. I want to order it, you know? So it's definitely a struggle and a sacrifice for me. But we did make a pact that if one of us decides to eat out, or both of us, then you have to substitute that day. So for example, today is, what's today? Today's Wednesday. So today is a weekday, it's not a weekend, meaning that if I eat out today, like I want to stop and grab something, then I have to sacrifice one of my weekend days. So if I eat out today, I can't eat out Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I have to pick a day to switch. And sometimes I do really well with that because on the weekend, we just chill in the house and don't go nowhere, and we just make our food ourselves. AKA he makes the food for us. Unless it's breakfast, then I'll make it. But usually, you know, we've been, again, 2 weeks strong, going on 3 weeks, we're doing good. And we don't always eat out the whole weekend. Like, we'll usually do like a Sunday thing after church, or maybe Saturday night. But yeah, I think I'm gonna grab something and just substitute my day. And I don't know, guys, so much traffic. Ugh. Let me figure that out. But anyway, by the time I get back home, it'll be probably time for me to get my life together, figure out if I'm gonna leave this on or switch clothes, because again, I'm going live at 6 o'clock. But per usual, I'm running my mouth, girl. Let me fight through this traffic and get on to the house.